Guys, if you're not following me on Twitter, check me out at 713HSP. That is with the capital H, capital S, capital P. I am hella active on there. We could talk football. You could DM me, talk about anything you guys want to. But I put out this tweet today and it said, how much longer does Nick Caserio need to decide on whether or not to fire David Culley? Because it's been about 4 nights now, and I could just imagine how stressful it is, for the guy. There's a good side that feel genuinely bad for the situation that David Culley's in. We've seen Jamil Hill, talk about it from ESPN. We have a lot of fans saying, go ahead, give him one more year. Just bring in an offensive coordinator, someone, or promote Pep Hamilton. And this is a topic that we discuss, right? If you're going to keep David Culley, then you need to make everyone around him smarter than what he is. Because David Culley has shown that, his clock management is not there. His use of timeouts is not there. His football IQ is not really there, head coaching wise. So surrounding him with smarter people would encourage that for me, right? He himself will be forced to get smarter and learn from the other head coaches. But, there's also the other side. The side that I'm leaning to is, David Culley knew exactly what he was getting into. He came in, to a squad that had issues at the quarterback position, that was left neglected in the offseason by Bill O'Brien. He took this job. He got paid millions of dollars. And I'm sorry, I don't care if Vegas says he did exactly what he was supposed to do, which was win 4 games. To me, he underperformed. There was a couple games this year where I think the Houston Texans could have definitely taken advantage one and won. One of them was obviously the New England Patriots game where he messed up. I mean, you could even say this game against the Tennessee Titans. I'm also saying the game against the Panthers. I think that if they would have let, Davis Mills air it out like they, like they said they've been winning 2 all year, then maybe the game, turns differently. But the fact that Nick Caserio is waiting, this long, and apparently we'll either find out tomorrow or Friday on, the David Culley situation, is I think it has to do a lot with Brian Flores. Because no one expected Brian Flores to be available. And he's already, been scheduled for interviews, with the Bears. And maybe Nick Caserio, this is a hot take or conspiracy theory. Maybe Nick Caserio is having conversations with Brian Flores. Like, hey, you could come here, if you want to, like I said, if you want to throw into Deshaun's situation. He wanted to go to Miami, not only for the location, but for Brian Flores. If the Houston Texans decide to cut David Culley, there's an obvious sign who they're going for, and it to me is Brian Flores. Now, what he does if he becomes a head coach, like I said, it does one or two things. It is going to force Deshaun Watson to waive his no-trade clause because, there was talks, there is speculation that he is done with Cal McNair, that he just doesn't like the ownership whatsoever, so no matter who the head coach is, he's going to be gone. If that's still the case, he's not going to play for Brian Flores, waive the no-trade clause. The highest bidder, go ahead and get Deshaun Watson. I'm looking at the Giants. I'm looking at the Eagles without Jalen Hurts. A lot of things can be done. Even the Steelers or the Saints, they're going to be needing a quarterback pretty soon. A lot of things open with Deshaun Watson, waiving his no-trade clause. If you're on the side of, I still want Deshaun Watson to play, I want him, I want the possibility of him being a Houston Texan, can Brian Flores convince him to stay and be a Houston Texan? I'm ready to trade him. I'm on the Davis Mills train. Let's get as many first-round picks as well as the number 3 overall pick, which is why I also think Brian Flores would love that. And not only that, when you trade away Deshaun Watson, that cap space becomes pretty big. And if you decide to trade Laramie Tunsil, that cap space becomes bigger. The question is, when is Nick Caserio going to make his decision on David Culley? Let me know what you guys think. As always, go Houston Texans. You guys have a very blessed day.